Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. Jesus' second saying from the cross. I have sat at the bedside of many people who were dying. People who had lived good, faithful lives. People who had no regrets. And there were times where I would ask them, well, how are you feeling now? I know your days are numbered. You have a couple of days to live. How are you feeling? And so many times, the answer I would get would be, I'm looking forward to being with Jesus. You know, that is a statement that we, Easter people, have the opportunity and the pleasure and the joy to make. That I am looking forward to being with Jesus. It's the great hope that we have, people believing in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But in the case where Jesus utters this word, today you will be with me in paradise, it's not to somebody who has lived a great faithful life. In fact, he says this to a criminal, to somebody who has committed a crime. He is speaking to somebody who deserves the punishment that they are receiving. I'll read to you the entire passage and its context. This is from Luke chapter 23, picking up with verse 39. Then one of the criminals hanging there began to yell insults at Jesus. Aren't you the Messiah? If so, save yourself and save us as well. But the other answered, rebuking him, don't you even fear God, since you are undergoing the same punishment? We are punished justly because we're getting what we deserve for the things that we have done. But this man has done nothing wrong. And then he said to Jesus, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus said to him, truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. The criminal realizes that the punishment he was receiving was just. And Jesus utters these words to him. This man is a criminal. He has not followed Jesus at all. He has not been baptized. In fact, he has literally just met Jesus as the three of them were being crucified. But he also realizes that there's something different about Jesus. And so Jesus says, when he reaches out to Jesus, Jesus says, today you will be with me in paradise. Today. Not at some point in the future after he confesses and repents and does all the right things. Not at some point after he follows Jesus for a certain amount of time. Jesus says, today you will be with me in paradise. He doesn't have to wait till Easter Sunday. He doesn't have to wait to do the right things. He doesn't have to wait for Jesus' resurrection. Jesus says, today you will be with me in paradise. The goodness of Jesus' promises are for all of us. Whether we lived faithful lives, whether we've been criminals, whether we've sought after a faithful life with God, or whether we've been tax collectors, sinners, Jesus promises a place for all of us, a place in paradise. And he asks Jesus, this criminal, to remember him when Jesus enters into his kingdom. He knew there was something different about Jesus. And so he asked Jesus, what do you need to ask Jesus today? What is on your heart? What's keeping you from asking Jesus what's on your heart. Let's take a step back and let's think about, what is that question? What do we need to bring to Jesus? What do we need to ask him? Because Jesus hears all of our questions. He listens to all of us. We don't have to be super religious for Jesus to hear our requests. So I invite you now to bring your requests before Jesus.